Life has a beginning and an end, and in between, we fill the space with what we know and understand. But before our birth and after our death, that's a mystery we can't unravel. The great puzzle of existence leaves us questioning the purpose of our lives. If we can't pinpoint our origin or destination, how can we claim to know why we're here at all? And if the future is equally opaque, what weight do our current actions carry? This ambiguity has burdened humanity with the perennial question, what is the purpose of life? We've never found an objective answer, yet many find solace in different beliefs, attempting to quiet the discomfort this uncertainty brings. Religion, for many, offers a comforting narrative. A deity created everything, placed us within it, and judges our actions to determine our eternal fate. Others find meaning in the connections we form, with friends, family, and loved ones. Some see life's mere existence as its own justification. But then, there's the nihilist perspective, which strips all meaning away. To a nihilist, life is devoid of significance. Everything we do, every joy and sorrow, is meaningless. Nihilism is the belief in nothing. At some point, most of us flirt with nihilistic thoughts, moments when life feels hollow, without purpose, and we struggle to find our intrinsic worth. These feelings often arise when we start to question long-held beliefs, usually during a period of personal growth or transition. It's when we're discarding inherited views and beginning to form our own, questioning the foundations of our existence. And these thoughts typically start with one word: why? That simple question can unravel everything we've taken for granted, leaving us standing on the shaky ground of uncertainty. Ask yourself why you believe what you do. Where did those beliefs come from? Who instilled them in you? Keep asking, and eventually you'll hit a wall. An absence of answers, a void. Despite our advancements in religion and science, we still cannot fully answer the question of why. And for the nihilist, this absence of an answer confirms that there is no reason, no purpose, only nothingness. Alan Watts once described life as a journey from the maternity ward to the crematorium, encapsulating the nihilistic view in a single stark image. The term nihilism comes from the Latin nihil, meaning nothing, and ism, meaning ideology. It's the ideology of nothing, a concept that's often misunderstood. People frequently confuse nihilism with pessimism, but they're not the same. Pessimists believe the worst will happen. They see the world through a negative lens, convinced that evil will always triumph over good. But at least pessimists believe in something. They see good in the world, even if they doubt humanity's capacity to realize it fully. Nihilists, however, reject the existence of both good and evil. To them, morality is a human construct, not a universal truth. Consider the metaphor of the glass. Optimists see it as half full, pessimists as half empty. But a nihilist would say to discard the glass altogether. What difference does it make whether it's full or empty? Full, empty, good, bad? None of it matters, because in the end, we all face the same fate: death. Nihilism is often confused with cynicism or apathy, but these two are distinct. Cynics believe people are driven purely by self-interest, that true altruism doesn't exist. They think humanity is inherently selfish, but this still acknowledges the existence of good, even if it's rarely realized. Nihilists, on the other hand, don't believe in good or evil, viewing them as mere labels we've imposed on the world. Apathetic individuals may believe life has meaning, but they simply don't care. Nihilism, though, asserts that there is no inherent meaning, no grand design, no purpose, nothing to believe in at all. This leads to a paradox. If you believe in nothing, that belief becomes something, contradicting the core tenet of nihilism itself. Nihilism differs from other philosophical schools because it began as a literary concept before developing into a philosophical one. This origin means it's not as rigorously defined as other ideologies, leading to multiple interpretations and branches. There's political nihilism, which advocates the destruction of all political, social, and religious orders to allow humanity to progress. Ethical nihilism rejects the existence of absolute moral values, arguing that concepts of good and bad are societal constructs that should be discarded to achieve true freedom. Then, there's existential nihilism, which holds that life is inherently meaningless, the most recognized form of nihilism. For existential nihilists, structures like the state, religion, and even shared morality are seen as chains that restrict individual freedom. If we're not free to do whatever we want, are we truly free? Or Are we just shackled by invisible mental bonds that we can't explain? One night, I stumbled upon a thought-provoking question online. If you had to choose between saving your pet or a stranger, who would you save? Most people chose their pet. When someone asked why a human life should be valued more than an animal's, no one had a clear answer. People danced around the question, but why remained unanswered, and that's precisely the nihilist's point. If we can't justify the rules we live by, why do we adhere to them? Perhaps it's because confronting the idea that life is meaningless is too much to bear. If nothing we do matters, then all our achievements, from scientific breakthroughs to social justice movements, could be seen as futile, a brief flicker in time with no lasting impact. Knowing that everything we experience, every high and low, is ultimately meaningless can be a heavy burden. But maybe the point isn't to understand the chaos of reality, but simply to accept it. Friedrich Nietzsche, a complex philosopher, both supported and criticized nihilism. He argued that the world has no inherent structure or order beyond what we create. He famously said, "God is dead," not to declare the death of a deity, but to highlight the declining influence of religious institutions as people began to seek their own paths and meanings. Yet, Nietzsche also warned that nihilism could lead to catastrophe, predicting that it would erode civilization's foundations, leading to a cultural collapse. Throughout history, the breakdown of long-standing traditions, beliefs, and systems has often led to societal decay. If nothing matters and we're just transient collections of atoms, how can we denounce atrocities like slavery, apartheid, or genocide? At a fundamental level, we know these things are wrong. But if we can't logically explain why, how can we persuade others to share our values? This was Nietzsche's fear, that in the absence of objective meaning, society would spiral into chaos. Although he recognized the dangers, he believed that if humanity could survive this period of nihilism, we could create a new moral framework, free from the prejudices of the past. Nietzsche saw nihilism not as an end, but as an opportunity to rebuild, a chance to create a better world. Look around, especially at the digital world, and you'll see signs of a new nihilism taking hold. Traditional morals and beliefs are being questioned, if not outright rejected. People are forging their own paths, defending their right to do whatever they please. And why shouldn't they? If life is meaningless, who's to say what's right or wrong? As William Shakespeare wrote, "Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, but signifying nothing." If life has no inherent purpose, perhaps our best response is to embrace it for what it is. Instead of debating whether the glass is half full or empty, maybe we should discard the glass and drink directly from the source, savoring each moment as it comes. Because in the end, life itself might be the only reason we need to keep living.